In Jonny Steinberg's 2015 book A Man of Good Hope, the tale of Asad Abdullahi unfolds as he escapes from Mogadishu, the capital of Somalia, when civil war erupts in January 1991. At the tender age of 8, Asad witnesses the mass exodus of two-thirds of the city's population, scattering them across sub-Saharan Africa. Amidst a series of harrowing events, Asad embarks on a journey that takes him across countries and continents, from Nairobi to Ethiopia, and ultimately leads him to his final destination in America. The book intricately weaves together a portrait of a man driven by his aspirations, presenting a profound and poignant narrative. Asad's story begins when he wakes up one day to find his mother anxiously peering through the cracks of their door. As he joins her, he is confronted by 5 armed militiamen who violently force their way in, shooting his mother in the chest as he clings to her leg. With his father in hiding, Asad's uncle takes him under his wing, seeking refuge from the civil war that engulfs Mogadishu. Thus commences Asad's tumultuous journey of survival. Together with other family members, Asad sets out on a perilous journey toward the Kenyan border. However, before they can reach safety, a mortar shell detonates near their location, causing the driver of the truck they had hoped to board to speed away. Asad's cousin, a 15-year-old boy, is forcibly conscripted into a militia while they spend the night, adding to the chaos. Seeking shelter, Asad finds solace with a relative named Yindi, but their respite is short-lived. Yindi is shot in the leg a month later, and her wound becomes infected, leaving Asad responsible for her care. One fateful night, a group of men barges into their dwelling, callously discussing whether Yindi is too crippled to rape. Instead, they steal the charitable food meant for the family and proceed to assault a neighbor. Asad's journey eventually leads him to a hotel in Kenya, where he seeks shelter among different families each night. Eventually, the elders of his clan arrange for him to travel to Ethiopia, where Yindi's family resides, with the expectation that he will accompany her to the United States. However, Asad's hopes of reuniting with Yindi and joining her in the United States are shattered when he is met with coldness and kept away from her by her family. Unbeknownst to Asad, they conceal their plans and eventually abandon him in a desert town when he is around 12 or 13 years old. Left to fend for himself, Asad finds work delivering water barrels to cafes in order to survive. It is during this time that he encounters a kind-hearted truck driver who becomes a mentor figure, accompanying him into adulthood. Asad, fueled by a longing to find his father, abruptly leaves his newfound stability and falls in with a group of students. As he supports their livelihood and secures a place for them to live, he also finds himself drawn to an attractive and respected woman whom he eventually marries. However, as the ruling regime intensifies its persecution of perceived enemies, Asad is forced to abandon his life and embarks on a treacherous journey to South Africa. Passing through Kenya, Tanzania, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, he eventually arrives in Johannesburg. In Blikkiesdorp, an area outside Cape Town known as Tin Can Town due to its multitude of identical one-room structures, Asad recounts his story to the author, Jonny Steinberg. Contrary to his expectations, South Africa proves to be far from the haven he envisioned, marred by xenophobia and escalating violence. Despite the challenges, Asad opens a shop and becomes a relatively prosperous merchant, initially earning a modest income equivalent to 1/3 of the country's minimum wage. He sees this as a decent means of making a living. However, as tensions rise, the black majority, liberated from the oppression of white rule, targets foreigners, particularly Somalis. Tragically, the police often turn a blind eye to these attacks. Asad's shop falls victim to an assault, his business partner is stabbed, and he endures a brutal beating, forced to lie on the ground while his goods are looted. His wife leaves him, issuing an ultimatum to either remain in South Africa or return to Somalia with her and their children. Asad chooses to stay in Blikkiesdorp, where he remarries and starts a new family, enduring the hardships that come his way. In the concluding chapters of A Man of Good Hope, Asad's arduous journey eventually brings him to the United States, where he settles in Kansas City, Missouri. Author Jonny Steinberg delves into the poignant experience of Asad as he shares his life story. Asad and Steinberg meet in South Africa, where the author engages him in conversation, probing for details. Nervously glancing around the streets, Asad responds reluctantly, expressing the difficulty of recalling much from his early life in Mogadishu. The book provides a profound insight into the repressive nature of life in Ethiopia, the intricate Somali clan system, and the pervasive racism prevalent in the townships. Moreover, it chronicles pressing contemporary issues, including migration, poverty, human trafficking, and crime. Through Asad's personal narrative, these topics are explored, shedding light on the challenges faced by individuals in their pursuit of a better life and the systemic issues that shape their experiences. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.